Now we will summarize the experimental result that we have obtained in the last segment. Here we can give the summary as below. The first thing that we can explain is for photosensitive material which are provided to us, that means for the given photosensitive material and frequency of incident radiation, that means for which the frequency is greater than f0. F0 is here threshold frequency, which is the frequency which we can say that the required minimum frequency to get photoelectric effect. Now, so for that photosensitive given material and frequency of incident radiation, photoelectric current, that is IP, is directly proportional to the intensity of incident light I. That means IP is directly proportional to I. Later that we can conclude the second result. Second result is that again for given photosensitive material and frequency, that is F, of incident radiation, saturation current IS is found to be proportional to the intensity of incident radiation, whereas stopping potential V0 is independent of its intensity. So here we can say that current increases with frequency and stopping potential also increases with the frequency, but the intensity of light here is increasing, then current will found to be increased but the stopping potential does not change. That means stopping potential is independent of its intensity. Here we can see and we have already observed that if we change the material, the that photoelectric effect will occur at a different potential also. Now third conclusion that we can obtain, that for a given photosensitive material there exists a certain minimum cutoff frequency that we have already considered as a threshold frequency, below which no photoelectric effect occur. Here we can say that if our frequency is less than the threshold frequency, we cannot find any photoelectric effect. Now, it is furthermore that no matter how intense the incident light is, that means if you increase the intensity, but if your frequency is less than the threshold frequency, you cannot have photoelectric effect for given photosensitive material. Here, the stopping potential or maximum kinetic energy, that is K maximum, of the emitted photoelectrons increases linearly with the frequency of the incident radiation but is again independent of its intensity. And fourth point, that is also very important, that the photoelectric effect is an instantaneous process without any apparent time lag. We can say that it is the process that will occur about in 10 to the power minus 9 second only or less than that time, even with very low intensity of light. So here these are the point of summary for the photoelectric effect and the experimental took place for that. Effect and wave theory of light and how they contradict with each other in the result for the photoelectric effect. The wave nature of light was well established by the end of the 19th century. The phenomena of interference, diffraction and polarization were explained in a natural and satisfactory way by the wave picture of light. According to this picture, light is an electromagnetic wave consisting of electric and magnetic fields with continuous distribution of energy over the region of space where which the wave is extended. Let us now see if this wave picture of light can explain the observations on photoelectric emission given in the previous section or not. Now, according to the wave picture of light, the free electrons at the surface of the metal over which the beam of radiation falls. So that means here in our case, we consider from the figure that C is that point that where the light incidents on that. So according to the wave picture of light, the free electrons at the surface of the metal over which the beam of radiation falls absorb the radiation energy continuously. Now, the greater the intensity of radiation, the greater are the amplitude of electric and magnetic fields. Now, consequently, the greater the intensity, the greater should be the energy absorbed by each electron. In this picture, the maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons on the surface is then expected to increase with increase in intensity. Also, no matter what the frequency of radiation is, a sufficiently intense beam of radiation over sufficient time should be able to impart enough energy to the electrons so that they exceed the minimum energy needed to escape from the metal surface. A threshold frequency, therefore, should not exist. These expectations of the wave theory directly contradict observations of the photoelectric effect summary that we have already noted. Further, we should note that the wave picture, the absorption of energy by electron takes place continuously over the entire wavefront of the radiation. Since a large number of electrons absorb energy, the energy absorbed per electron per unit time turns out to be a small. Explicit calculation estimate that it can take hours or more for a single electron to pick up sufficient energy to overcome the work function and come out of the metal. This conclusion is again in striking contrast to the observation that we have seen that the photoelectric effect occurs without any apparent time lag. That means the conclusion is again striking contrast to the observation and that the photoelectric emission is instantaneous. In short, the wave picture is unable to explain the most basic feature of photoelectric emission. Energy quantum of radiation. To understand these, let us assume that and consider the phenomena that had happened at the time. In 1905, Albert Einstein proposed a radically new picture of electromagnetic radiation to explain photoelectric effect. In this picture, photoelectric emission does not take place by continuous absorption of energy from radiation. Radiation energy is built up of discrete units, the so-called quanta of energy of radiation. And each quantum of radiation energy has energy hf. So here we can say that the energy is equals to hf, that is called the quanta of energy. Now here h is called Planck constant and f is the frequency of light. In photoelectric effect, an electron absorbs a quantum of energy that is hf. So it absorbs energy that is equals to hf. An electron absorbs a quantum of energy hf of radiation. If this quantum of energy absorbed exceed the minimum needed energy for the electron to escape from the metallic surface, which is called work function, the electron is emitted with the maximum kinetic energy, that is called K maximum is equals to HF minus HF0, or K maximum would equals to, that is equals to, we can say, I will consider it little bit lighter so that it will be easy to explain. Here we can say that K maximum is equals to HF minus HF0, or phi 0. More tightly bound electrons will emerge with kinetic energies less than the maximum value. Here we have to note that the intensity of light of a given frequency is determined by the number of photons incident per second. Increasing the intensity will increase the number of emitted electrons per second. However, the maximum kinetic energy of the emitted photoelectrons is determined by the energy of each photon. Now the above equation, that is K maximum is equals to HF minus phi 0, is known as Einstein's photoelectric equation. We now see how this equation accounts in a simple and elegant manner all the observations on the photoelectric effect given earlier. Now first, according to this equation, K maximum depends linearly on F and is independent of intensity of radiation. In agreement with this observation, this has happened because in Einstein's picture, photoelectric effect arises from the absorption of single quantum of radiation by a single electron. The intensity of radiation, that is proportional to the number of energy quanta per unit area per unit time, is irrelevant to this basic process. Second thing, since K maximum must be non-negative, because we need that K maximum must not be less than 0. So as K maximum must not be 0 or less than 0, here we have to add that, or it should not be less than 0. So here we can say that, or it should not less than 0. So K maximum cannot be less than 0. We can extend this condition, or it cannot be less than 0. So K maximum must not be less than 0, or it can be said that it should be non-negative. It implies that photoelectric emission is possible only if f is greater than f0, where f is the frequency of incident light, where f0 is a frequency that is called threshold frequency. Here for the threshold frequency, we can say that f0 is equals to phi 0 over h. Here again h is called Planck constant. Now in this equation, that is f0 is equals to phi 0 over h, that we have explained here with green color. Here I explain this portion with green color part, that is f0 is equals to phi 0 over h. This shows that The greater the work function phi 0, the higher the minimum or threshold frequency f0 needed to emit photoelectrons. Thus, there exists a threshold frequency f0 that is equals to phi 0 over h for the metal surface below which no photoelectric emission is possible, no matter how intense the incident radiation may be or how long it falls on the surface. In this picture, intensity of radiation, as noted earlier, is proportional to the number of energy quanta per unit area per unit time. The greater the number of energy quanta available, the greater is the number of electrons absorbing the energy quanta, and greater therefore is the number of electrons coming out of the metal. Now this only happens if F is greater than F0. This explains why for F greater than F0, photoelectric current is proportional to its intensity. Now, in Einstein's picture, the basic elementary process involved in the photoelectric effect is the absorption of a light quantum by an electron. This process is instantaneous. Thus, whatever may be the intensity, that is the number of quanta of radiation per unit area per unit time, photoelectric emission is instantaneous. Low intensity does not mean delay in emission, since the basic elementary process is the same. Intensity only determines how many electrons are able to participate in the elementary process. Using the normal equation, that is EV0 or the K maximum is equals to HF minus phi 0. The photoelectric equation will be K maximum is equals to EV0, and therefore EV0 is equals to HF minus phi 0. Now from this equation we can further say that if we make V0 as a subject, the V0 will be H over E into F minus phi 0 upon E. Here, if we simplify this equation further, we can have a simple equation of the same phenomena that we can write over here, that is H over E, and this is F minus F0, because phi 0 is HF0. So we can put it like this, and we can involve this equation in the process. So this equation ultimately gives us the information regarding the energy involvement in this equation. This is an important result. It predicts that the V0 versus F curve is straight line with slope equals to H upon E. So here H upon E is called the slope of graph of V0 versus F. Here V0 is a stopping potential, where F is a frequency of incident light. Now this slope is independent of nature of material. Now during these phenomena, Millikan, also very renowned scientist, performed a series of experiments on a photoelectric effect aiming at disproving Einstein's photoelectric equations. He measured the slope of straight line obtained from sodium, similar to that shown as we have earlier explained in our segment. Now using the known value of E, he determined the value of Planck constant H. This value was close to the value of Planck constant determined in entirely different context. In this way, in 1916, Millikan proved the validity of Einstein's photoelectric equation instead of disproving it. The successful explanation of photoelectric effect using the hypothesis of light quanta and the experimental determination of value of h and phi 0 in agreement with values obtained from the other experiment lead to the acceptance of Einstein's picture of photoelectric effect. Millikan verified photoelectric equation with great precision for a number of alkali metals over a wide range of radiation frequencies. And this is the Einstein's explanation of photoelectric effect.